eating from candies. 5 minutes of standing in the corner of the room and looking at the roof. I hope you will follow this simple pedagogical suggestions. You are a teacher. Jonathan Aloysius McCarthy Senior, PhD, MA, BA, BMW, etc. So, this is an example of a very solid and good parent letter. You can see the authority figure of the teacher trying to inform the inferior peasant parent what needs to be done. This should not be, of course, the case. It should be clear, concise, and have specific guidelines that the teacher and the parent can use as partners. And I'd like to ask you, as a part of an exercise, focusing on the notion of pre-assessment. How would you devise a letter to the parent if we have either lack of motivation or learning difficulties, two different scenarios, and I need you to try and be descriptive in terms of what we can use for the introduction of the letters, the proper wording, what process should be described, and it's important, the final conclusion of the letter. So, any inputs on this? Inputs?
Now you can talk.
Only lack of motivation or learning difficulty? Only? Two.
I've chosen those two scenarios. We've got a child.
Only?
It's not exhaustive of the many problems that we might address, but those are two that we will be using for this exercise. You haven't written a letter to a parent before.
In introduction, maybe, dear, I'm glad to discuss with you about your son, which is my student. It is important for us to communicate and elaborate a good way to improving our students' performance. So, for the introduction.
So, we need to consider the
Wow.
yes.
Continue
So,
the
yes.
assessment.
We need to consider the phase in which we're communicating with the parent. If it's the first communication, it should clearly, as Venera said, describe the reason we're communicating and put it in the context of an overall process of communication.
In a positive way.
And the positive way, that's very important. The positive way is something that we need to have in the introduction, and also the need to develop a partnership.
Yes, and to say clearly what is the problem, but in a positive way.
Okay, so, dear Mr. Smith, your son is getting on my nerves. Of course it's not.
It's not.
It's a very,
Critic and negative way.
yeah.
It's contra-example, a good contra-example you choose for us. I understand.
So we need to say it's an excellent opportunity for us to communicate. We are partners in this process. So I would like to point out those specific things that we need to consider about your son, girl, and so on. And it should not only be done when we have a problem with the student. It should begin to be a part of a daily communication that will be connected to the personal goal set for each student. So it's not something that the student will always take to his parents because he will be punished. It will be a process that we will keep them constantly informed and also help us understand this important in terms of pre-assessment. We will be able to assess the degree of support that the child has from the house. It's an initial outreach to the house, to the people, not formal, but we know if their parents come, if they respond in some way, we know that we can count on them and in which degree.
And work together to improve.
And all together. So it provides us valuable information about the family and their commitment in helping or not the child, and help us challenge